Hey people, Injured here, 1v1, Calderis Refinery, blue side. We have BozMat as a Chaos Sorcerer, offensive and disruptive hero with some awesome control abilities. This is the Alpha Legion elite scheme, and BozMat getting double heretics up with their spikes in their arms and all that good stuff. Red side then, Rostam as a Mekboy, teleporting hero that fights range combat, puts out some good damage, can also support, disrupt, build structures and repair. He's got a massive bolt in his mouth for some reason. Rostam using the Blood Axes elite scheme. I think they've got his caps on, not sure what's up with that. But Orks in caps is what we have. Double heretics. Might see a dicey opening if they get close to double shooters and the Mekboy all firing upon them. We do see some CSM. Looks like they're going to head mid, and we are going to see the heroes meet on the east side. Sorcerer will win the melee fight, obviously, but the Mekboy can well do that. Teleport away and shoot him. And take some chunks off his health bar, as you can see. I believe he does like 25 piercing DPS by default, the Mekboy. And for a hero that can teleport around and get behind cover and that kind of thing, that's not bad. If you get his big shooter, it's actually quite a big DPS increase for him. Heretics here, taking some fire as you'd expect. The Sorcerer trying to keep the Mekboy tied up so he can't fire that weapon. Consumed from the Sorcerer means he's going to fire out another Doom Bolts in a minute, I think. Those Heretics forced to retreat. There's another Doom Bolts. They didn't fire off the full volley. It didn't feel like that. When he's at 100 energy, he's meant to fire off like double the amount of bolts, I believe. Sluggers coming in and then backing away. There's another Consume, which means we're going to see another Doom Bolts, but Rostam saw it coming, I think. Sluggers, yeah, they're backing off because they're waiting for the burners to come in, knowing that he forced off one of the heretics. We'll see how he does here. Burners giving the sluggers a couple of power melee weapons and a health increase. They'll be happy to go in on a low level sorcerer, I think. Mekboy retreats. Doom Blast and a retreat from the heretics there. Doom Bolts at his feet. Did some good work, but he's in trouble. Gets the special attack and uses it to get out of there. A clutch special. Might have been in trouble there, the Sorcerer, if they didn't come out. And the remaining shooter boys not wanting to stick around because the CSM will just get into melee combat and deal with them that way. Raptors on the way for BozMat, which could force Rostam to get a Painboy on the field, which is fun to see. Although it's not like it's a bad choice without the Raptors being there, but I think it's the right choice for sure. And here is that big shooter. Takes him up to almost 38 piercing DPS from a single entity that can teleport around. That's a hell of a lot of DPS early on. Heretics be warned, especially if they're in this default state where they only have 75 hit points each. Poor bastards. If they're not getting shot at, the Sorcerer's like eating them. Here are the Raptors then. Jump troops with 30 DPS melee weapons can suppress when they land. Bad news for the shooter boys. Rostam did a decent job keeping them split up in that first engagement. Going to want to continue that. Doesn't want them both getting suppressed by the Raptor jump. These guys now getting their big shooters. More range, more DPS, and gives them a suppression on demand ability, which is pretty damn useful. These guys caught out of cover, and you see that Mekboy doing some work now. They have to run away. Painboy is on the way. I don't think he's seen the Raptors either, so that was, I guess, his intention all along. No shooter knobs yet to spot infiltrated stuff. Gonna have a look at the power here. But BozMat is here to intervene. Doom Bolts misses everything. Not sure what he was aiming at there. Heretics are gonna get sliced down by the shooter fire. Raptors not wanting to engage right now, but this shooter squad over here is pretty isolated away from the sluggers. Could get a good jump over there, a good clean jump, I think. Now they are infiltrated. Sluggers not quite sure where they are. There is a jump. Shooters will have to retreat most likely. Sluggers will come and try to engage. Sorcerer doing a good job keeping that Mekboy tied up, forcing Rostam to micro those teleports in the middle of combat. Doom Blast and run, I think, here. Should be okay. Yes. Were able to suppress the Mekboy himself. And Raptors get another good jump, doing some real good work early on. Look at that, just chopping through with the Sorcerer alongside them. And here's the Painboy. A little bit late, but he's there. Has a damage over time, melee weapon, and a heal over time ability. His special Git Source. It's a really powerful heal as well. It's got a short cooldown. I believe it's like 25 seconds or 30 seconds cooldown. Gives a little upfront heal. I think it's like a 30 health heal, and then a big heal over time. Like 15 health per second heal over time, I think. So hard to fight through that. Better try and control and back away, but it's not always a possibility. You can also upgrade it in tier 2 to be almost twice as effective, I think. It's a pretty big upgrade for that special Git Source. It's very special Git Source at that point, I believe it's called. He used to have a power melee weapon, this Painboy, but that was removed from him. Poor Painboy. Sorcerer gets a decap, then eats a jaw full of lead. The shooter boys there with a Knob Leader. Gives them more DPS and more survivability. Also a Knob Leader over here also acts as a detect unit when the Sorcerer's being sneaky with his infiltration. CSM here with a ton of war, giving him a flat damage increase across the board, both melee and ranged. Seem to make a pretty big difference to them, their ability to pick models off. Happy to sit behind the heavy cover here and trade. We do have some grenade launcher heretics. A well-timed grenade barrage can really mess up a early melee squad trying to get into combat. Painboy using his heal over time on the Mekboy himself. There you see that crazy health regen. And a battery pack on the way for the Mekboy. Pretty cheap war gear. 466, 395 the battery pack. Gives him a heal ability. Also provides energy, I think, when he uses it. Having a look at the power here is Rostam, keeping BozMat very far away from the VP. The Raptors do get the suppression on their second little hop there. A lot of damage really fast on those shooters, but now they're in trouble. Painboy and Sluggers on them. Looks like the heal went off on the shooter boys there. And now these heretics are in massive amounts of trouble. And these guys have an aspiring champion. Well, they had an aspiring champion, and down they go. Good special. Painboy needs to use his heal again. There it is. You see what I mean? It's a pretty short cooldown. Used it twice in the same engagement pretty easily there. And it gets them off the field there. Sorcerer with no war gear. Both players going tier 2 around about the same time. Rostam will look to get a Death Dread, I'm sure, to really put some hurt on those Raptors and maybe march towards these generators too. BozMat losing the heretics. I think he should respond with Havocs up. Generators go down. 417, 395. BozMat commenting on the fact that the burners count as power melee weapons, which isn't the most obvious thing. There's a lot of things like that in Dawn of War 2. Really got to read those tooltips of your enemy's stuff as well. Looks like BozMat's going to get tier 2 slightly before Rostam. Blood Crusher might be able to do some work alongside some Plague Marines or something if there's a Death Dread. But I think Havocs are the safe bet. Havocs and then get an aspiring champion for your Raptors. Maybe Robes of Torment for the Sorcerer too. Help control those Sluggers who don't have their Knob Leader yet. But that guy's pretty dangerous when they get him. Raptors chasing him down here. Not sure why Rostam kept them in place so long, just trying to keep something on the field and keep BozMat away from that central VP, but looks like he is going to get it here. Seeing off the shooter boys. Triple cap for Rostam. Painboy still here. Look at that. We have CSM upgrading to the Mark of Khorne in combat, which leaves them vulnerable, as you can see. But here they are now with chain axes and plasma pistols. So chain axes counting as power melee weapons. and getting a cap. They're pretty quick on their feet as well, these Mark of Khorne fellas. Some good cardio. Here's the Death Dread though. A melee walker for Orks. Pretty fearsome looking melee weapons. Has some 70 DPS or so heavy melee. Big splash damage on its specials as well. And just with regular attacks can also get the burners and bits upgrade to get some more hit points. And some burners, which is good for flaming up some generators up there, which are just being built, as you can see in the background. And burners and bits is on the way. Gives it 300 more hit points, I think. Up to 950 then. And we do see Havocs from BozMat. Go for an autocannon, I say. Not a las cannon. Las cannon is... looks like we are going to see a las cannon. Las cannon is very specialized anti-vehicle. We'll make short work of a Death Dread, but then what are you going to use it for? Bash power or something, I suppose. Mark of Khorne a bit more generalist and still some big damage. So the las cannon is going to try and set up, get some shots on the Death Dread. Will snare its movement as well as do big chunks of damage. Boom! That did not hit the Death Dread. That did. But Sluggers have spotted them. Dark Flames used. Another shot goes in on the Death Dread. Sluggers with their Knob Leader are bad news for Havocs, and they didn't move quickly enough. They could get chased into base here. Base turrets not doing a good job suppressing, and down they go, chased into base and taken out. He spotted the opening and went for it, Rostam, and gets them. Death Dread now running amok. We do see Plague Marines on the field though for BozMat. These guys have a missile launcher, good versus large targets. Will also snare said large targets. Here we go, boom. Needs to keep them moving. Here we see Rostam using the Mekboy to tie them up so they can't fire that missile launcher. Flung aside though by the Sorcerer there, who's well into level 2. The Mekboy also like halfway through level 2. I think the battery pack... oh, maybe not. It says friendly infantry. I'm always confused by this. At one point, you could target vehicles with the battery pack. The tooltip definitely says friendly infantry though. We'll see. We'll see if he uses it on the Death Dread. Still a great ability though. Sorcerer comes back out with the Rod of Warp Fire. 80 plasma cannon damage, as you can see there, with this ability. So I guess you could use it to finish off a vehicle or something, but it's more used for the awesome targeted disruption you can do with it. Great for stopping caps as well. Not wanting to push forward, doesn't even want to look at the power here, BozMat, which might be a mistake. Death Dread needs repairs. Where are those sluggers? Here they are. Mekboy can also repair. So we might see both do so, maybe. Nope. Here's the custom force field though. Gonna fling some raptors around if they get close to him. Can also, of course, teleport in on the Plague Marines and toss them around with the custom force field so they can't get their missile launcher shots off. Oh, it also does a little bit of damage. Not sure I realised that. I mean, 10 piercing isn't that much, but it's something. You're doing something. These guys taking some Daka and need to run away. They're not going to be available for the upcoming engagement then. The Death Dread is not fully repaired at all. The Mekboy didn't want to help out, it turns out. Painboy, what level are you? You're still level 1. Gets access to the unstable fuel injection in tier 2. The Mekboy explodes a friendly Ork for like 50 damage or something. Pretty good. There we see that custom force field flinging some heretics around. Not using it to disrupt the Plague Marines though. And now the Raptors have their Power Fist, aspiring champion. It's a destroyed Death Dread for sure. Eventually, there we go. Mekboy is actually repairing him a little bit. 181344. Might have been able to be a little bit more disciplined going after those Plague Marines there. Kept them from getting some shots off. But a Death Dread does go down. Commandos on the way in tier 3 for Rostam. Great squad. Plague Marines, as I've said before, are light infantry units, technically. So they take a lot of damage from Shooter Boys. Those guys will go mid, though, to cap. It should also be said that the Rod of Warpfire, yeah, look at that, 35 piercing DPS. That's like a Tech Marine on your left hand. Big chunks of damage off those Shooter Boys there. There's the Warpfire. Nicely timed on those sluggers. CSM getting in now. It's a dicey fight for them, but there is enough support to see the sluggers off. Infiltrated commandos. Some nice range damage. Can also do this. Throw burner bombs. And then follow that up with Love the Daka. Some amazing, amazing disruption. Mid is still red, I should say. 174 to 314 on the VPs. Some more Havocs on the field. Instantly tied up by the Mekboy. But at least he's not shooting his weapon then, I guess. Look at these Raptors trying to finish off the Shooter Boys, and they do. That Power Fist is big chunks. Painboy got one of them down though. And now they need to jump the hell away. There we go. It's a good kill. What level are you fellas? Level 2. For those that don't know, units get increased stats as they level. Typically, it's like 10% health per level. So they have about a third more health at level 4. They also have about a third more melee damage at level 4. About 15% more range damage level 4. Some more health regen, some more melee skill. I think it's +1 melee skill per level. Some energy regen, some more energy. All that good stuff. There are exceptions with certain units hitting certain levels. I believe the Space Marine Librarian gets a big boost to his health or his energy or both when he hits level 4. Some stuff like that going on. Here's Space Marines getting an aspiring champion. There's that Rod of Warpfire doing its thing again. Doombolt's flying out. It's been pretty good using the Sorcerer abilities at the right time, BozMat. But this is a bad fight for the CSM, I think. Commando's there to help out. We do have Heretics doing some work, but the CSM are forced to retreat. Chaos Dreadnought and a looted tank hitting the field. 111 to 314 on the VPs. A decent VP lead for Rostam. Looted tank's going to be under threat, that's for sure. Plague Marine is still in play. The Raptors could jump on rear armor, do some nasty things with the Power Fist. And now a Chaos Dreadnought with an auto cannon by default can get some nice upgrades too. Good synergy in general with the Chaos Sorcerer, since they can warp him out of trouble with the global with some nice positioning. CSM are level 2, fully healed up now. Well, fully reinforced at least. Still don't have max health, but they're ready to hit the field again. Sprinting around for Khorne to gather some more skulls. 1-to-1 cap. Gonna be a 2-to-1, looks like. Again, he doesn't try and kick on to the generators or the VPs. Playing it safe here. Aware maybe of how fast the Orks can spring on him. Mekboy can teleport in and start getting damage very quickly. Looted tank did get some repairs. Sluggers are what now? Level 3. They're gonna be doing like 25% or something more melee damage. Which is bad news for anything in melee with them. Marco Tzeentch now for the Chaos Dreadnought, giving him this awesome missile launcher. Powerful anti-vehicle with the Frenzied Barrage for some suppression. Tzeentch worship. Aspiring champion now for this Heretics, so they're going to be a little bit more durable. Could be an important engagement here. Commando's kicking it off with a burner bomb and Love the Daka on the Plague Marines. Oh, Demonic Shield for the Sorcerer. I thought for sure he'd get some of that Robes of Torment action going. Demonic Shield's always confusing because it gives a yellow buff circle, which usually means a damage buff. But as far as I'm aware, the Demonic Shield is a damage resistance buff only. Mark of Khorne for the Havocs. They're going to get an autocannon, which is painful for everything. We do have the Mekboy getting his anti-vehicle weapon up. A very powerful one on a teleporting hero, of course. He does teleport staying set up, which is a big deal. Look at the autocannon at like maximum range, doing some crazy damage to the tank. That was 2 volleys there. Raptors trying to get in on some power bashing sluggers. You saw them use that demonic fury there. Oh, the slugger's going to get away. Got to retreat through a whole bunch of stuff. Autocannon targeting the Pain Boy, doing some really good damage. Has to heal himself. Yeah, autocannon needs to be dealt with, I think. Needs to teleport on him. Maybe with the mech. Got some good damage on the Dreadnought, looks like, with that beamy death gun. But mid is still blue. 90 VPs remaining for BozMat. Can they hold on here? Flash kits on the field for Rostam, getting their blasters up to explode some CSM. Look at them. Those guns look awesome. No knobs then for Rostam. Maybe with the Sorcerer in play did not want to go for knobs because he can use the Chains of Torment and also Tome of Subjugation on them. 90 to 214 on the VPs. Capping duty for shooters, needs to wait for the rest of his army to show up. And again, we see BozMat not pushing on to the power, not pushing on to the VP. Level 4 Sorcerer does not have his teleport, of course, without the vestments. Tier 3 now for BozMat. Might see a tank from them. Sluggers are still at level 3. There's that warp fire again. Don't think it was worth engaging there. And in fact, he's off the field for the coming fight now. Throws up the demonic shield before he gets out of there. There's the frenzied barrage. Gonna suppress anything he hits. There we go. Mekboy teleports in, gets a shot. At least one more, I think. Oh, fires now at the Plague Marines for some reason. Maybe he doesn't have vision over there. Their units won't have the same vision of things that we have. Dark Flames thrown in. Raptors now jumping in, making a big difference to the fight because now this autocannon is free to fire away. But will the Raptors get out of there? I don't think they will. Maybe. They're close to getting away. 67 hit points. They might be alright. One more hit from the Pain Boy, though, brings them down. Look at the damage that the autocannon did. But now it's a dead autocannon. Sluggers in there. No way it's getting out. Some losses for BozMat. That might be GG right there. That might be GG right there. Mekboy almost level 4. Runs the hell away. Look at these. Look at the sustainability of these sluggers with the Pain Boy alongside them. Just as I said that, of course, they retreated, but they were in this fight for a hell of a long time and did a hell of a lot of work. Big boom shot from the tank. It needs the reinforced plating to do that these days, I believe. CSM, what level are you fellas? Still level 2, eh? Going for the cap here. Oh man, took a big shot from the tank though. They don't want to take another one of those and they have to retreat off there. Chaos Dreadnought needs repairs. Heretics are the repair unit for Chaos. Here they come. In tier 3, maybe a tank. I'm sure he'd love to get Terminators up, but does not have the red for it. And does go for Chaos Predator. Mark of Khorne, I guess. Maybe Mark of Nurgle to sit here and just spread that green crap around. But I'd probably go for the punchier Mark of Khorne tank myself. We'll see. Flash gets close to level 2. Those blasters are painful enough at level 1. Dreadnought is almost level 2. Knob leader for the commando comes in, gets a rocket launcher shot off. Looks like only one of those rockets actually hit though. Not known for their accuracy, Orks. 90 to 113 on the VPs. BozMat still in this. Ouch. Blasters versus Heretics, not really a fair fight, fellas. 88 to 113. Tank seems wary of approaching, and here's the Chaos Predator. Does not have a mark right now. Beamy Death Gun is getting shots in. Flash gets got kind of low. It might be a dead Dreadnought though here. One more shot would do it. The tank could get the last shot. And it is actually the mech that finishes it off. Must have got a lot of XP for that. But look at this. Chaos Predator chasing down the tank. I believe it was actually the Plague Marines that got the last hit on the looted tank there. So losses on both sides. Looted tank is taking a long time to explode. There we go. Maybe? There we go. It was a well-made tank. By Orc standards. 59 to 113. Mid is now red. Rostam might be able to hold on for victory here. Doombolts flies out. There's that demonic shield again. And here are some Chaos Terminators. He got a bunch of red losing stuff and killing stuff in that fight, I guess. Combi Bolters and Power Fists on these fellas. Look at this. That red debuff demoralizing units as they kill models. I believe it's a 5% debuff of resistance and a 3% less damage dealt, and it like stacks. Won't stack that much since it doesn't last that long, but still pretty nice in a big team fight, especially if you can debuff like 3 armies worth of stuff. But even in a 1v1, pretty good. Don't think it demoralizes vehicles. The fellas driving them aren't very bothered about it, apparently. Painboy level 2 has the cyborg implant equipment. Not sure if he's already done the surgery. It would be nice if there was some kind of visual indicator for a unit that's had the Orky surgery. It's got 3 choices. Either 15% more melee damage, you can get 10% more health, or +1 speed. All of them pretty useful for sluggers. Level 4 sluggers here, getting in on the Terminators and doing outrageous amounts of damage here. Blasters also getting shots, of course. Wow, that's a lot of damage. Can the tank live? Looks like the tank's going to be okay. Mekboy's off the field. The only big threat, they've still got the commandos who have a rocket launcher. BozMat holds mid. BozMat holds mid. Rostam might need to bite the bullet and get knobs, and at least force BozMat to spend resources on Tome of Subjugation. Is it worth it though? I think it's still worth it to get knobs. Level 3 paint, well, very nearly level 3 Painboy. Chaos Predators level 2. No mark yet. Terminator's having to walk back to base to reinforce. It's an expensive reinforcement. He does have enough for it though. Tank is getting repaired. Plague Marines been quietly doing their thing, just kind of hanging out over here, shooting stuff, and they're level 3 now. Up well over 2,000 hit points. 2420 on those guys. Now a war truck for Rostam might be a shrewd choice late on. Get some infield reinforcement, and here we see Mark of Nurgle on the way for the Predator tank. Gives it huge amount of hit points, melee resistance, and a little bit of health regeneration. The main weapon is replaced with a weapon that deals damage over time when it lands. Like, I think it's like 7. What we can see, 7 flame DPS for 6 seconds. Yeah, like 42 damage if you stand in it for too long, which is a lot spread across like an entire squad. On each model of that squad, I should say. Doing some work there to the commandos. They do retreat out. Heretics wiped out though. And here's the war truck. He's getting another war truck. Wonder if that's a mistake. Chaos Terminator's getting into melee combat with Flash Gits. Not a good fight for the Flash Gits. And now there's combo bolters tearing through shooter boys. Man, Orks are dropping fast here. needs those knobs up, I think, but he's getting double war trucks. This must be a mistake, surely. Level 4 sluggers. Scary as hell. Seeing off some Plague Marines. But the Mekboy is going to go down, I think, maybe? Oh, they can't quite get another melee attack. There is a Rocks. Bit of a desperation move there from Rostam. Didn't really have time to set it up with anything. Because VPs are tight. 46 to 54. BozMat is down to just 3 units, though. Just his tank, Chaos Terminators, and their Plague Marines, who are all the way back at base. Wow, says Rostam. Did they get the second? Yeah, there's the second war truck. Looks like it was a mistake. No other reason for Rostam to be surprised other than it was not intended. He might be, yeah, looks like he's just sending it into die to free up some population and free up some upkeep. Looks like that's the case. I thought he was bringing it up to reinforce the sluggers, but it's gonna die. Those poor fellas driving it. Down they go. Can something get here to cap from Rostam? Flash kit's not fully reinforced, but it can now reinforce off the truck. There we go. Got a little bit of a heal as well from the mech, maybe. Looked like a little heal went off. Sorcerer is level 6. It's done really well. There's that green crap from the Chaos Predator. And Bloodlet is called in. 46 to 46. You don't get closer than that. Who can get on this though and cap? Is it the Chaos Terminators? Oh, they're getting claws here. Look at this. Bad news for all this infantry around. Going after the Pain Boy, who's also done really well. He's level 3 now. They're going to tear through those shooter boys so fast. Or not. They're going to teleport away and go after the mech. You see his custom force shield can't knock him over. They're too fat. We are going to see a cap here from BozMat. Rostam can't really seem to sustain himself in any of these fights. BozMat powering through him. And is now going to get a decap over here. Rostam not happy about his Overwatch mistake. I make an Overwatch mistake in every other game I play, so I know his pain. But yeah, we're going to see the game here, I think, for BozMat. He's going to get a triple. Might not be a long triple, but it's going to be enough. Tank here taking shots from the Beamy. Happy to sit here and stop caps, I think. There's the triple cap, and it is going to be the game for BozMat. And a fun game it was. Stayed in there, didn't panic, and made some really good unit choices later on. No knobs from Rostam. I mean, you can understand why with the Sorcerer being there, but I think he really needed that tanky presence out late game. Wonder what he intended to get after the first war truck, because he wasted a bunch of resources on the second one, and it seemed to cost him the game pretty much. Let's look at his heroes. End of the game. Level 7 Sorcerer with the Demon Armor and Rod of Warp Fire. We had a level 6 mech fully kitted out. Beam of Death Gun also had his big shooter, battery pack, and custom force field. Some good plays, some heavy losses. And there's your game, guys. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.